Kia ora and welcome to a new video from NZ Pocket Guide. Today I'm going to go over all the questions you need to ask before entering a work for accommodation agreement with your host. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you need to ask before woofing or working for accommodation is what type of job are you expected to do? Some hosts, not a lot, are a little bit cagey about what kind of job you're going to be doing, and therefore they kind of dump pretty much everything they don't want to do onto your shoulders. It is quite important to ask the host what kind of jobs you're going to be doing and decide if it's the kind of job that you are into or not. So asking this question is usually a big telltale of will it be a good experience or a bad experience? And speaking of good and bad experience, the next question you want to ask is usually a bit of a trap in which a lot of hosts that are not the best will fall very easily. And it is, do I need to provide my own food? If you need to provide your own food, therefore you're not really working for food and lodging, are you? You're just working for lodging and the right to cook your own food in their place. And this is the best way to kind of weed out which hosts are going to be taking advantage and which hosts are going to be, playing the game. Next up on our list is how long do you need help for? A lot of woofing hosts actually require you to stay a minimum amount of time, which allows you to get more used to the task and actually being good help on the farm. It is quite normal to agree on a certain period of time to stay with the host. So make sure that you discuss with your host how long you are expected to stay so there is no misunderstanding. Next up on the list is, are your meals vegetarian? Should you be a meat eater or vegetarian, you may want to know if the meals are going to be suited to your dietary requirements. A lot of the woofing hosts or work for accommodation hosts actually live on organic farms, and a lot of them are vegetarian. I personally really enjoy a vegetarian diet, but not all my friends do. So make sure that you do ask if the meal and the food provided is going to be meeting your dietary requirements. Next up on our list, we have what are my work hours? A lot of different farms offer different perks with different hours of work, etc. And some of them will even supplement some extra hours work with a pay. So make sure that you discuss with your host how many hours you are expected to work in a given day or a given week. Next up on our list, we have, do I need to sign a contract? Technically, legally in New Zealand, you will need to sign a contract with your host in order to woof or work for accommodation in New Zealand, as the perks which are provided to you, lodging and food, are technically taxable as an employer for your host. So if you are signing a contract, usually that means that your host is definitely playing by the rules. Finally, the last question that you want to ask is, do you host any other woofers on top of, me that's going to join? It's quite important to know, as well, there's probably already going to be some dynamics in the farm and you will have to fit with them. And also you may have to share lodging with some of the other woofers. So if this is not your kind of things, you may want to know and be aware of that before arriving in the farm. Alright, so that's everything that I have for you today. There's much more for you on nzpocketguide.com, so make sure to check it out. And the whole team is joining me in wishing you the best gap year ever in New Zealand.